Hello, and welcome to our Energy Connect studio on ADIPEC 2023. I'm delighted to have once again in the studio Girish Saligram, CEO of Weatherford. Thank you so much for joining me again, Girish.
Thanks so much for having me again, Julian. This is part of now my ADIPEC sort of ritual, if you will. So pleased to be here, and thank you again for having me on.
No, absolute pleasure. Now, since we met last year, how has 2023 gone so far? Maybe give some highlights of successes and how's the performance of Weatherford been?
Sure. Look, it's been a terrific year so far. The team's done an outstanding job, and it's truly one of the privileges of my life to be able to sit and talk about what the team in our company does. They do the tough job. I get to talk about it is sort of the way I feel. But no, look, we've had a very uncertain macro environment. Inflation is still a big issue. There's been a lot of debate and concern about recession, geopolitical tensions, of course, around the world, and a lot of uncertainty that all of that brings. But despite that, our sector is continuing to see very robust demand on the international side. North America has been actually quite weak, and our team's executed brilliantly. So our margins are up. Our cash flow generation has been positive through the first half of the year. We are on track. We now generate cash for the fourth year in a row. Our margins are at record highs. So no, it's going really well, coupled with some great commercial advances and some great technology advances as well.
Well, it's great to hear, Girish. And in the Middle East, what are you seeing in terms of activity? And maybe highlight some of the successes you've had in 2023 so far.
Sure. The Middle East, as I've talked about on multiple occasions, is really spearheading the growth on the international side. This is where we see the most robust activity set. We see new contract awards. We see a lot of new planning. And it's really terrific to see an investment thesis from our customers that's backed up by action. And it's very secular across all of the Middle Eastern countries. So very, very proud, very, very excited to be a part of that. We've had some great successes since you and I last spoke. We've had a couple of significant longer-term integrated contracts. The first was with PDO in Oman for over 5 years to drill over 800 wells. The second was a 3-year contract from Saudi Aramco on intervention services. So both very, very significant contracts. Plus, we have had contracts from KOC on drilling. We have had other contracts that we have won in places like Qatar, in places like Oman, even in Iraq. So every single country in this region is contributing to the growth of the company.
Well, that's great to hear. And yeah, it sounds like a busy year. And partnerships are important for Weatherford. I know that. What partnerships are you showcasing here at ADIPEC 2023?
So probably the most significant one we've got as part of our booth is our partnership with Ardyne. So this is a company that's based between the UK and Norway, and they really have some terrific technology that is critical to slot recovery and plug and abandonment. So as we know, as we all deal with this topic of transition and making sure that it's responsible, plug and abandonment, the decommissioning of wells becomes a really important topic. And they've got some terrific technologies that enables customers to achieve that in a single trip operation, reduce costs. So we're very excited about that partnership that we announced last year with them. We've had a lot of successful operations and are looking forward to doing a lot more. In addition to that, we have several other partnerships that we've got. Probably the most significant one from the region is our joint venture that we've got in Saudi Arabia. Very successful over 4 decades. We've recently done a partnership with a company called Data Robot and Artificial Intelligence. So several things like this. We know we can't do it all alone, so we've got to build an ecosystem of partners to work it through.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be key. And, Weatherford, I know you've always taken a strong stance of innovation. And, I see a new tagline. Can you tell me what it is and more about it as well?
Yes. So it's the energy of innovation. So we thought a lot about our new tagline, what it should be. Our old tagline was challenge accepted. And that is truly, something that represents our company because we are willing to take on the toughest challenges. But just given the history of the company, we felt it's time to look beyond challenges and talk about a more positive, a more exciting future. And, the energy of innovation, energy has obviously been in that space, but who we are, how we drive things is really through innovation. That is what is our hallmark. So that's something that we feel very strongly about. We've had some terrific advances this year. We've got several market-leading product lines. The first one is our flagship product line of managed pressure drilling. What we're really doing there is expanding it from beyond drilling to this notion of managed pressure wells. So it allows us to now bring in this notion of pressure management and pressure regime to variety of other product line or product service lines, things like cementing, things like logging, like testing. So that's really what it's about. It's about saving our customers money. It's increasing efficiency and improving safety for our customers. We've also just launched a product called Modus, which is at the performance tier in MPD. Very excited because that'll again open the market up more. In our tubular running service business, we've talked a lot about Vero, which is our flagship product. It brings together hardware, software, mechanization, automation, artificial intelligence in a comprehensive package, reduces the number of people required on the red zone, effectively to zero because you've got one person managing this. But we've also just launched a very innovative product called StringGuard. And we talked about this on our last earnings call. Incredibly cool product, and effectively what it gives customers is a peace of mind where we give them an assurance that they will not have a drop string event, which is one of the biggest issues in this product service line. So StringGuard, it's not just about product innovation, it's also commercial innovation. How we sell it is not just a widget, it's that notion of assurance. So that's something that I'm excited about. A lot of other things, especially in our digital space, that I can keep going on and on about.
Well, Girish, it does sound like there's a lot of innovation going on in Weatherford. And we're here at ADIPEC, and this year's theme is on decarbonisation. What are you doing at Weatherford to advance the energy transition then?
Yeah, first of all, it's an incredibly important topic, one that we take very seriously. So we started our journey a couple of years ago. We created a sustainability team. I brought on board a chief sustainability officer. One of the first things we did was really confirm our commitment to a net zero pledge of 2050, right? So we signed up to the global UN compact, and we've really sort of driven that aspiration through the creation of carbon committees. We've taken a lot of steps to ensure that our operations are more sustainable through facility consolidation, through driving energy efficiency to our facilities, with the transformation of our fleet, and driving automation, remote operations into our product line. So that's really the crux of what we do, is making things more efficient in terms of how we deliver our products and services to our customers. In addition to that, in the energy transition, so we've laid out several platforms. The first one is geothermal, where we've been a leader for over 2 decades. We think it's going to be an increasingly important form of energy that contributes to the overall mix. We talked a little bit about plug-in abandonment earlier. And then, of course, CCUS, which is a really important topic these days. It's a huge ecosystem. We play on one part of it, which is storage and monitoring, but it's an incredibly important aspect, and we think that'll grow in size over the coming years. So a lot of stuff there that's happening, and we're excited to be a part of that.
Well, Girish, that's great to hear. And, it just sounds like exciting times ahead for you, coming up to the end of 2023 and then looking forward to 2024.
Absolutely. Our best days are ahead of us. And look, our team's done a terrific job repositioning the company, so we're very excited about the future.
Well, Girish, once again, thank you for coming down to the Energy Connect studio. Always a pleasure having you down.
Thank you so much, Julian. Thanks again for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. And I look forward to bringing you more studio interviews from the show floor in the coming days.